Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, how's everybody doing out there? We're a week into this new year now, a little over a week into this new year, so everybody ought to be settled into 2018. Everybody's working their programs or doing whatever it was you wanted to do differently in 2018, and I see a lot of stuff on social media. A lot of people excited about this lifestyle, learning it, figuring it out, already seeing some results. And I just thought I'd talk today about my best advice for a raw food diet. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button now, then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Yeah, this is just going to be some hopefully general practical advice to inspire you to either get on to look into a raw food diet, or if you're already on it, just a little bit of, inspiration, hopefully. One biggest thing is take charge, take control, take responsibility. Let me nip it in the bud if you're new to this thing. Don't look so much to outward sources. Don't look to other people. Don't try to find your guru. Don't hang on the words of any one person out there. Everything you need, and I might get a little bit kind of one of these motivational speeches today, everything you really need to do this lifestyle, do this diet, pretty much to do most things you want to do in life is within you. You have everything you need within you. You have the power. You just need a little bit of confidence in yourself. You have to ask yourself, if you kind of doubt what I'm telling you right there, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why you're not as smart as other people, why you're not as capable as other people, why you're not able to figure this thing out on your own, like a lot of people do. And to be quite honest, I'm starting to notice I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was who was it? It was Chase Jarvis and Damon John, and it was talking about how to be successful. And it was kind of talking about, he wrote a book. Damon John has just written a new book called Rise and Grind, and it's the habits and what really successful people do. So this always I listen to information like this from time to time, and the interesting thing I find about most successful people in anything, whether it's business, money, this lifestyle, that lifestyle, whatever, is most of the people that are successful out there are very self-motivated. Now, while they do attribute a lot of their success to other people, and they've used knowledge from other people to succeed, they're not the type of people that hang on somebody else's words. They're not the kind of people that just are goo-goo-eyed and are like, oh my God, whatever this person says, this is how I'm going to do it. They're the kind of people that they filter their information, they use what is beneficial to them. And one of the big things I notice about them is they take responsibility. One thing that kind of irks me more than anything is, listen, if you listen to somebody wholeheartedly and you just do what they tell you to do, don't ever complain. Don't ever try to throw them under the bus later on because you took bad advice. You are the decider. You decide what you take in. You decide what you put in your body. You decide what knowledge you use. I would say, control the chatter, control the information coming in. That's why I'm more of a fan of doing this thing in an approach, not necessarily doing it on your own, but like I've talked about before, instead of just willy-nilly throwing questions out there and just being in that mush of groups out there, forums, Facebook groups and whatever, where you're getting just so many conflicting opinions, and you're just basically getting a little babble from everybody in the group that has an opinion on it. Now, while I'm not trying to discount anybody, everybody has a right to their opinion, but you don't necessarily want to hear all that chatter and be all confused with, and who are they? Who are they? I always hear people they get so tied up on what they're doing, they just get so confused, they get so worried about because, well, they say this, Or they have some friend, well, my sister's friend's husband says that. And that's, people will actually write this stuff down, and I'm like, well, who is that person? So you need to control the flow of info. Control the flow of info coming in. And this is why I like my solitary path, because, you know, I do my own research. I'm my own researcher. I'm my own teacher on this. There's lots of free resources out there, which brings me to my next thing. Spending money is not going to get you there. And I'm going to tell you unequivocally right now, you don't have to spend money to do this lifestyle. Repeat after me. You don't have to spend money to do this lifestyle. Now, there's investments you can make that will make it a little bit easier. And I always am saying, being a former drunk that would throw down money at a bar for anything, I think now I'm making good investments. But I guess the point I'm getting at is, don't be intimidated and don't think you can't do this lifestyle if you're broke, or if you don't have any money to spend on the extras, you know, like, oh, but I don't have money for a coat. You don't need a coat. Geez, give me a break. Kitchen or to buy somebody's plan or their program. You know why? Because those plans or their programs, that's a spin. That's a spin. There'll be another one later this year. There'll be another one next year, because that's like a machine. You know, that's a way to make money. There's so much free information out there. I'm telling you, just spend an afternoon sometime and just do searches on Google and YouTube and see what you'll come up with. And a lot of people, I get a lot of these things that I try to share and methods I try to share from big players in different fields and different arenas of life. I was hearing Gary Vaynerchuk the other day giving some advice to a young entrepreneur on his podcast. And he was talking about, just go to Google, just go to Facebook. Don't spend, you know, especially in the world of e-commerce and a lot of stuff online, learning about Instagram, this and that, people pay a lot of money. He says, don't do that. He says, go straight to Google. And he said, it was something about Pinterest at the time, like driving traffic from Pinterest. And he said, go in there and say, how to drive traffic from Pinterest to my website. Boom. Now, this is somebody that runs a multi-million-dollar media company, and he's given advice to people like this. So everything you need is out there. Google, YouTube, Google, YouTube, Google, YouTube. Said that 3 times because there's some sort of a psychological thing that when you say things 3 times, they stick. You can get all the information you need, and if you want to get spin on it, look at different, you know, when you do these things, read a whole bunch of different articles when you get the results. Watch a few different videos. See what this person's saying this person's saying the opposite, this person's saying something else. Use your filter. Figure that out for yourself. The same thing with the kitchen. The same thing with the kitchen. Let me tell you something. The toys are fun. The toys do make it easier. No, I won't say they necessarily make it, well, yeah, they make it easier because you can do more things, but they are not necessary. In the beginning, I have a Vitamix now. Yes, you guys probably heard me talk about this for years. I didn't have a Vitamix until Christmas was a year ago. 1 year I've had a Vitamix. You know, there's other high-speed blenders that are not as expensive. I've had a Ninja, which is less than $100. I've had a NutriBullet. If you can't even go like $70, $80, $100, I went for probably the first 2 years with just a good old Hamilton Beach that was like $35 blender. One little trick here, if you got a little bit of money, that was always a good toy for me, was my food processor. I had a Black & Decker or just a cheapo food processor for like 35 bucks, and it would do a lot of the stuff that was too heavy for that blender for me to do. So, you know, basically get yourself if you can get yourself a cheap blender, a cutting board, and a knife, you can do this lifestyle. Hell, if you can't get that, you can still do this lifestyle. But, you know, don't think it's something like I need to have all this kind of stuff to make this work. It's all going to come. Once again, let me just say, it's all going to come from within you. There's a lot of people out there, on the other hand, that have all this stuff. I see people all the time, then I pay attention to what they say. They got a juicer, they got a Vitamix, they got a dehydrator, they got all this stuff in the kitchen. Man, they got every tool you can get. And they still can't make this lifestyle work for them for some reason. You know, odd. It's somewhere, like I say, it's in here. You'll commit, you'll commit, you'll commit. You need a thirst to learn. You know, is this something you really want to do? If you really want to do this, you'll search and you'll research and you'll do the work every day to make it happen. If you fall down today, stop with the whining, oh, I didn't do this. Don't waste time. There's another little piece of advice. Don't waste time. When you fall off your plan or whatever, what I see more than anything, and my eyes are just rolling at like the speed of light, is like somebody makes a mistake. They screw up. That's going to happen. Sorry. You're doing something new. That's to be expected. When you learn to ride your bike, did you just hop on the bike and take off riding? No, you fell a few times. You might even have fell bad, skinned your knee, whatever. You got back up and you got on your bike. You know, now there were the kids that went and cried to mommy and daddy, and then there were the kids that just got back up on their bike and went at it. So the best thing you can do when you make a mistake, stop making such a big deal out of it and stop having to go to your little therapy group, i.e. Facebook group, forum or whatever, and tell everybody your tale of woe. Well, I did this, I can't do this lifestyle. Figure it out. Work your way through it. This is the year 2018. We're living in marvelous times. You know, sometimes, obviously, I've got lots of time to be inside my head and think about things. At 53 years old, I think about, good Lord, look at the resource I have at my fingertips now that didn't exist 20 years ago. I mean, the internet was there, but not in the capacity it is now. Like, I can go to my computer right now this afternoon, and any subject I decide to educate myself on, I can educate myself right through that computer. So, while I've had some various tips and various thoughts on how to do them, I just want to pound home that message, that one message. If you don't get anything else from this video, I really want to instill a confidence in you. Everybody sits around all this babbling about self-esteem and self-love and blah, 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 but doesn't seem to be sinking through. You really have to understand that you have everything in you that you need to succeed in anything you want to in life. Sometimes it might be dormant and you have to activate that. But unless you have some hindrance that I don't know about, you know, if you got half a brain, which that's about all I have after drinking myself crazy for 30 years, I'm just like all the time. That's why I'm kind of a no-nonsense guy. And I really start stopping that talk when people go, yeah, but Jack, not everybody's you. Yeah, Jack, but this and that. I'm like, stop that. Stop it right there. Don't ever, that would be the most uncomfortable thing in the world for anybody to ever look at me like I'm special, better than, or I have some advantage to be able to do this lifestyle that other people don't. If anything, I probably came into it with a handicap after drinking for so many years and eating so much garbage food that it pretty much, you know, started to rot my brain. But anyhow, take control. Take responsibility. I think I said that one before. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.